Hello and happy Friday. I can't believe we're here again. What a fast week. So welcome to your last maths lesson of the week. And today we're learning to compare by subtracting. So we've been subtracting all week and today we're using those skills to compare two amounts. So to do that, we need to be able to compare two groups using the vocabulary of more or fewer or less, which we've practiced lots before in year one. Then our next step to success, I can identify that finding how many more or fewer involves subtraction. Then I can represent a comparison question with my resources or pictorially, so with a picture, drawing a picture or using a picture. And I can subtract from the larger group to find the difference between two groups. Okay, our fast four starter then. Let's get going. Remember to pause between each question if you need to. Number one, what is 12 subtract 2? Number two, and we can use these 10 frames to help us work it out. What is 12 subtract 7? Number three, again, can use the 10 frames. What is 12 subtract 4? And this time, use the number line to work out 13 subtract 6. So let's go through those answers. 12 subtract 2 equals 10. Hopefully you found that super easy because in 12, there is 1 10 and 2 1s. So if we're subtracting 2 1s, then that must be 1 10 and 0 1s, 10. Number two, 12 subtract 7. So we could cross out for this one, subtract 7. So I'm going to change colour. Okay, 12 subtract 7 equals, how many are left? 5. And then the next question, question 3, 12 subtract 4. Again, I can cross out 4. How many are left? That's right, 8. And then for using the number line to work out 13 take away 6, what number do we need to start on? That's right, 13. And then what do we need to do next? That's right, 6 jumps backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 13 subtract 6 equals 7. Okay. Right, so what's Stevie got for us today? So there are two number sentences here. 13 take away 6 and 13 take away 3, take away 3. Stevie says the result is the same for both of those number sentences. Is that true or false? Pause here to try and work it out. Okay, shall we find out then? So 13 take away 6. Let's do that one first as it's the first number sentence. So we'll start on 13 and make 6 jumps back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we have our answer to our first question. 13 take away 6 equals 7. Now, if Stevie is right, and as she says that the result is the same for both, then that should mean that 13 take away 3 also equals 7. Shall we check? Use a different colour. You know, I'm starting on 13 still. And then I need to take away 3. Ah, has anyone else noticed what she's doing here? Similar to what we did last lesson. She has jumped back to 10 to make it easier. So she's done 3 jumps to 10 and then another 3 jumps, 1, 2, 3, to get back to 7. So 13 take away 6 is the same as 13 take away 3 take away 3. They both equal 7. It's just 2 different ways of working out the same problem. Right. Let's look at our vocabulary. So revisiting lots of it already, that we've done already. So we have our minus symbol, or subtract or take away. That means to take an amount away from another amount to calculate the difference. And equals, as we know, means equal to or the same as. And difference, we have looked at this before, but just as a reminder, it's the number that's left after subtracting one number from another. And here's our part whole model. The whole number's always in the same place. The parts are always in the same place. But the only difference is that when we're subtracting, we start with the whole number and take away a part to find the other part. Whereas when we add, we start with a part, add another part to find the whole number. Okay. Right, so we have Eva and Alex, and they have got some counters. Now I want you to look at the bar model. And firstly, the first question is, who has more? Now, hopefully you quite quickly said Eva. We can see that Eva has more because we've lined them up and her line or her bar is longer than Alex's bar. So Eva has more. Let's write that here. So we know that Eva has more, but the next question is, how many more does Eva have? And this is where some of you have made a mistake in the past, because you have gone like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you've counted that Eva has 12. And so when the question has been, how many more does Eva have? You said 12. Now, she doesn't have 12 more than Alex, because if she had 12 more than Alex, then that would mean that Alex would have 0. We can see Alex definitely doesn't have 0. So let's count, see how many Alex does have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alex has 7. Okay, so to find out how many more Eva has, we need to subtract the amount that Alex has. And with our bar model, all we need to do is draw a line down here, because all of the counters over this side that Eva has are the same as Alex's counters. So these are the extra counters. These are the counters that Eva has extra. So that's how many more she has than Alex. So shall we count to see how many more she has? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Eva has 5 more than Alex. Okay, so to work that out, just to break that down a bit, the whole number that we started with was Eva's counters. So when we're comparing two groups to find out who has more or less, we always start with the bigger group. So the whole number is 12. And that means that in the subtraction number sentence, we start with 12. And then we subtracted the amount that Alex had. So we subtracted the smaller group, which was 7. So one of the parts is 7. We worked out 12, subtract 7. And then the part that's left is how many more Eva had, which we know was 5. So as a number sentence, Eva's 12 counters subtract Alex's 7 counters equals 5 counters. So Eva had 5 more counters than Alex. And we can check that on our number line just to make sure and to practice our number line skills. 12 take away 7 equals 5. We'll start on 12. Subtract 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And look, we've landed on 5. Okay, so 2 different ways of working it out. So now we have another bar model. This time we are looking at how many toys Stevie and Hector have. So Hector has 8 toys. Here are Hector's 8 toys represented with counters and represented in a bar model. Stevie has 15 toys. Here are Stevie's 15 toys represented as counters in the bar model. Now the really easy question now is who has more toys? Okay, who has more toys? That's right, definitely Stevie. We can see that Stevie has quite a few more toys than Hector. I'm going to write Stevie here. Stevie has more toys. But how many more toys does Stevie have? Let's just write Stevie's name here again, now that we know that Stevie has more toys. How many more toys does Stevie have? Okay, so now I'd like you to pause the screen and see if you can use the same method that we just used to work this problem out. Okay, so shall we see how many toys Stevie has first? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So Stevie has 15 toys. A moment. Stevie has 15 toys. So we know that the whole number is 15 because when we're finding the difference, we start with the bigger group and subtract the smaller group. So 15 is the whole number. And we're going to start our number sentence with 15. Okay, and now let's see how many toys Hector has. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hector has 8 toys. So the number that we are subtracting from 15 is 8, or one of the parts is 8. 15 subtract 8. And how did we do it last time with our bar model? Can you remember? So we drew a line, didn't we? Because we are subtracting the smaller group, the amount that's the same. So everything on this side is the same. There are 8 counters, 8 of Stevie's toys and Hector's 8 toys. And then this, the extra amount, is how many more Stevie has. So let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the other part is 7. 15 subtract 8 equals 7. So how many more toys does Stevie have? Stevie has 7 more toys. And shall we check on the number line as well? So 15 take away 8. Let's use 10, 15. Subtract 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And sure enough, there we are, we land on 7. Okay. Now it's time for your turn. So we've got 3 questions, which are all very similar questions to the ones we've practiced together today. And as always, these questions are on a sheet that can be downloaded on Teams if you go on there, if you'd like to print it off to have a go, or if not, you can just pause the screen and write down on a piece of paper. It's entirely up to you. And then when you're finished with these questions, there is a challenge as well. Okay, we really look forward to seeing all of your answers. Remember to send them in to year1@thepalmeracademy.com. Bye, have a nice day.